Happy New Year, Ambassador of Finland to Singapore, Antti Vänskä.
Thank you.
You arrived in Singapore in June 2019. How was your first 6 months in Singapore?
It was good. It was quite busy actually. Of course, when you arrive in a new place, there's a lot of things to learn. So the first half year was quite active. A lot of events, a lot of visits, and of course a lot of getting to know people. But I very much enjoyed it.
So before Singapore, you were based in Washington DC. How different is your work in Singapore comparing to Washington?
It is different. My role in Washington, of course, was different. I was not the ambassador there. I was the deputy ambassador or deputy chief of mission, as it's called in Washington. So my main responsibility in the embassy in DC was to be in charge of the administration of the embassy. So that was a different type of work. Whereas here in Singapore, of course, I'm in charge of the whole operations of the embassy, and the two embassies are quite different. In DC, the embassy is big, one of the biggest we have, about 40 people. Whereas in Singapore, it's not that many people. We are nine people all together, 7 permanent and 2 interns. But I think we're a good team, and we are big enough to do a good job here in Singapore.
So in your experience, how well is Finland known in Singapore comparing to the US?
Well, I think the big picture is rather similar actually. People who sort of follow international relations and international politics, those people in both countries have a rough positive idea about Finland being a modern Nordic country with a high level of education, well-functioning economy, good companies, etc. So the general image is definitely positive. Of course, not everybody knows anything about Finland. If you talk to the ordinary people, it might be that they don't really know much. I think maybe in the US there are some Finns that are well known who are not well known in Singapore, and now I'm referring to ice hockey players. So for obvious reasons, they're not that known in Singapore. Same goes with the basketball player, Mr. Lauri Markkanen. I think he's pretty popular in North America, not that much maybe in Singapore.
And so what are the goals you have set for yourself for your time in Singapore?
Well, to start with, I try to maintain the high quality of work of the embassy is doing after my predecessor, Ambassador Parviainen. She did a wonderful job here in Singapore, and of course, the main idea for any embassy is to have and improve bilateral relations with the country where the embassy is stationed. So that's the main goal. I try to do my best so that the relations between Finland and Singapore remain in this very good level where they're at right now.
And what are your expectations for the new year and the new decade in Singapore? So what are the key focus areas for cooperation with Singapore and Finland?
I think this is going to be a busy, active year, active decade, I hope. There are a lot of possibilities for Finland and for Singapore for mutual cooperation. I would say economy, business is the number one. There are a lot of Finnish companies in Singapore, which is a wonderful thing. Looking for business opportunities in Singapore and wider in Asia. Of course, Singapore for many companies is sort of a hub to wider Asia. There are a lot of promising sectors, since both countries, both economies are highly developed, innovative economies with a lot of technological innovation, say sort of the so-called clean tech area, sustainability, waste to energy, smart solutions for smart cities, healthcare, solutions linked with the aging populations in both countries. There are lots to do, and I'm sure that this is a good place for many Finnish companies. And as I said, I'm happy that so many companies have come here. I also wish that the Finnish community as a whole and the business community, especially the Finnish business community in Singapore, finds the embassy easily approachable, so that that if there's something that where the Finnish community feels that the embassy can be of help, so then you'll just contact us.
Thank you very much on behalf of Finnish Business Council, and we wish you luck for the coming year.
Thank you so much.